So today I'm going to be doing a belated reacting to the Goodreads Viewers Choice Awards or Readers Choice Awards. um, I have only read, after looking at the list of books, 3 books in the entire Goodreads nominees. I do have a couple more that are on my TBR. I think at least 2, but there's more I want to add, and there's also more that I want to get to. I mean, the finalists close in 9 days, so there's no way I'm going to be able to get to all the books I want to get to, but right now I am going to share my screen. Let's see. And go to vote in the opening round. I've already voted for 2 books, but a lot of these I can't vote for. So, reader's favorite fiction. I have nothing in this category because this is like the lit fit category. Never heard of these 3. Ocean Vuong, I definitely know of him, but I haven't read any of his stuff. I've seen this, The Girls Who Grew Big. I've seen Fred McBachman around. Wally Lamb. If you've watched a previous video of books I hate, you will know that I hated She's Come Undone. Again, is this another Oprah's Book Club? Just really freaking hated that book. Made me be like uncomfortable to be a woman, and I still remember it, and I read it like when I was a teenager. So yeah, none of these. Oh, Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. Yeah, she's a bit problematic now. I've seen this cover, Heart the Lover. What is this about? Let's see. I like the cover. This is a novel of desire, friendship, loss, and the lasting impact of first love. I don't care. I don't want to read it. I don't care about first love. Not interested. So I'm not voting in this category. Next category, historical fiction. I don't know any. I haven't read any of these, and I have no desire to read any of these. I have seen the book club for Troublesome Women. Oh, it's with the book club stuff. The Hounding. The Crucible meets the Virgin Suicides in this haunting debut about 5 sisters in a small village in 18th century England whose neighbors are convinced they're turning into dogs. I read Night Bitch this year. I didn't really care for it, so I think we're going to pass on that. What is Isola? A young woman and her lover are marooned on an island in this epic saga of love, faith, and defiance from the best-selling author of Sam. I have heard of that. I'm not interested. So, not voting in that category. Mystery and thriller. I don't really read mystery and thriller. I will say it's difficult to write a mystery. Props to mystery writers, but this author. One of the worst books I've read lately, within the past couple of years, was The Perfect Marriage. Like high school level of writing. I can't believe it was published. No, none of this interests me at all. Romance does not interest me. I've seen this around on Goodreads, First Time Caller. I've seen Elise Silver. She has cool covers. Abby Jimenez, she's pretty well known. I've seen this. Can't get enough. Of course, Emily Henry and Allie Hazelwood. I feel like if I had to read an Emily Henry book, if I was forced to, I'd probably read Great Big Beautiful Life, because people said it's her trying to be a bit more literary, but not really on my radar. Romantasy, I do not read romantasy, so we were just going to skip this. Fantasy. Oh wow, finally, I have a book on here that's on my TBR, and that is R.F. Kuang's Catabasis. This is really long, isn't it? I'm not going to read this before. Kindle edition? Why is this the Kindle edition? I don't want the Kindle edition. I know it's a long book. I'm not going to get to it before then. I don't really care about fantasy that much, to be honest with you. Okay, now my Goodreads is being really slow. Uh-oh, now we're having some issues. Historical fiction. Yeah, doesn't it take place in the 80s? Okay, sorry, we're back. Okay, I did vote for The Dream Hotel because that is the only thing on this list that I actually read. I do want to read this. The Once and Future Me. Really cool cover, but I don't think I'm going to read that by the time the voting comes in. Nothing else really interests me on here. Horror. I actually want to read this. Buffalo Hunter by Stephen Graham Jones. So I'm going to add that to my TBR. Blackfoot Indians. It's based on a real thing. What Hunger? I actually want to read this. This looks cool. Coming of age story. Jennifer's Body and Little Fires Everywhere. I mean, I didn't see either of those, but I do want to read that. This, not very good. Sorry. This has to do with cannibalism. I don't think I can stomach that. No pun intended. I don't like Grady Hendrix. I think he's overrated. Hungerstone. This painting was used for Joyce Carol Oates' Beasts. But this actually looks cool. So we're going to add that to my TBR. This is just a thing of all my TBR. And then this, I am currently reading Ling Ling Huang. I think it's pretty good so far. But, like, it should be sci-fi. It shouldn't be horror. Unless it gets more creepy later on. Debut novel. I don't know any of these. Literally, I don't. None of these I even recognize from seeing people I watch on booktube. I don't listen to audiobooks. I don't like being read to. I mean, I could see audiobooks maybe for nonfiction, but not fiction. I don't read this. Young adult fiction. Nope, I don't read any of this. Nonfiction. All right, I was able to vote in this one. One Day Everyone Will Have Always Been Against This. I did vote for that. New Age of Sexism. No More Tears, The Dark Secrets of Johnson & Johnson. That sounds interesting. This, a Sunny Book Nook reviewed this. Said it was very, like a very superficial liberal feminist analysis. Doesn't really analyze, systems, and too much lionizing of Hillary Clinton. So I'm not going to read that. This, Abundance. I can't believe this is on here. This has to be being pushed by the elites. This is literally just neoliberalism rebranded. Like Bill Clinton, Tony Blair, Third Way crap for a new generation. I don't even get me started on Ezra Klein. God, how many books about Ted Bundy do we need? Really? This is good. I know of Cory Doctorow. I've seen this freaking thing everywhere. Nah. Yeah. The only thing I really, hope Omar Al-Akkad wins. Memoir. I knew I didn't like Elizabeth Gilbert, but I didn't know she was that off the wall, trying to murder her partner, apparently. I've seen this around. I don't know who this woman is. Who is she? Is she an author? Who is she? She's a writer, an activist. I feel like I've seen her give, like, speeches, unless I'm thinking of someone else. What is the hair? Who is Alyssa Stoner? Raising Hair. Friendship with a Hare. There's been a lot of books lately about women and friendships with animals, like Fox and I, and what was the one about the mouse? Sipsworth. Nobody's Girl. Yeah, she died under mysterious circumstances. Malalia, I haven't heard about her in a while. Then she became a communist. That's probably why you don't hear about her as much. Favorite history and biography? No. Propaganda Girls? Secret War of the Women in the OSS. Okay. Yeah, so let me go back to my TBR just to show you everything that I am now going to read from this list. So I have to go back to the chronological thing. So, The Once and Future Me, The Buffalo Hunter Hunter, What Hunger, and Hunger Stone. So, horror and sci-fi. Interesting that this is how my taste is evolving. I feel like genres are becoming made up. But I can add these to like maybe my 10 for the end. Talk about the 10 books I want to read. I think that the Buffalo Hunter Hunter is at one of my local branches that's within driving distance for me. Yeah, so I'm just gonna insert some clips of the rest of my long weekend. I took off today, and I was just in the city to meet up with a friend, and, you know, I'll tell you the progress on Immaculate Conception, because I did start reading it. Right now I'm on about page 80. I filmed actually my reaction to like the first 40 pages earlier, so you can get a taste for like my thoughts on what I think about this book so far. So I am reading Immaculate Conception by Ling Ling Huang, which had been on my TBR for a bit, but I'm reading it because of the Goodreads Choice Awards for horror, I think, which doesn't make sense. This should be sci-fi. And I am liking it so far. I think she's a good writer. Right now there is a lot of telling going on, though. Like, I'm on page 45. And I'm not really sure when this is supposed to take place. Because the character Mathilde, her dad died on a plane during 9/11. So I'm like, okay, is this like an alternate present, or is this closer to the 2000s, the 2010s, and it's like an alternate past? Because in this world, these like weird barrier things have sort of sprouted up across cities, and they've segregated people. And if you live within these barriers or like on one side, you have limited access to resources, and even like the same when you log on to your computer, like your VPN or whatever. My brain's I'm drinking coffee, I'm tired. Is everything's like segregated, right? And there's like an underling class now, but I'm not clear if there's such segregation. Why is the main character, because she's part of like the have-nots, there's certain terms she's used, I forget. How is she allowed to go to like this prestigious art school even though she is on a scholarship? Like, if everyone's segregated, even your fucking internet access is segregated, how is she at this art school? That doesn't make any sense to me. So, and I'm also, again, like I said, I'm not clear of the time because 9/11 features into it, so it's really weird. It's definitely weird and eerie, and she is good at like creating this eerie, unsettling atmosphere. I think the writing so far is stronger than Natural Beauty, but yeah, it is a lot of telling. Let's just see. This was my issue with Natural Beauty, was that I felt like it unraveled at the end. It was just like way too much heavy themes going on, and it was like kind of like she got tired of writing and she was like, okay, we're done. Because she didn't know how to wrap it up. So I am very curious to see how this goes, but this is my, I guess I read I Love You Bunny, and that is not, I'm not voting for that for horror, so yeah. a little dachshund today.
I did see that, yeah.
It looks like a Freddy color.
Those are pretty. These parts of Philly remind me of New York.
Is this Philly, actually? Yeah.
Ew, that's Philly.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, Meg. You have to get that.
No,
Show it for the real.
We have enough.
You have another. Can you get? This is my question. I have a big question for you.
Little pups.
Get people and faces. Is that like?
I never honestly even looked at it that closely. Like. Okay, so I did finish Immaculate Conception this morning. I did end up really liking it. There was a section in the book, I want to say before the midway point, maybe a third in, where I was wondering where the hell this was going, because I feel like this author has an issue with pacing. And that was an issue in Natural Beauty too, because the actual plot summary of the book, or like what you think the book is about, the whole transplantation of a device where you can access another person's memories and feelings, that doesn't occur until, excuse me if you can hear the noise in the background, it's our fridge is making weird noise. I don't know why. Something's loose in the back. That doesn't occur until a little more than halfway. And so I was wondering where this was going, and then all of a sudden things start to rapidly speed up to this point where the main character, she meets this son of this billionaire tech mogul, and she becomes ensconced into his whole world. They get engaged quickly, they're married, she has children, she is like going on these like different these different properties they own, and then she gives money to her parents and they're living the high life. And I was like, what is going on here? Like, this was just, it was like too much rapid summarizing. But yeah, I was also waiting for the plot point to kick in. So it does kick in, and then it gets good. And I do feel, so that was my only thing. My issue with this was just with the pacing. I do feel, though, that the themes were a little bit more a little more shoehorned in. That was my issue with Natural Beauty. Like I said, there was way too many heavy themes, disparate, going on at the same time, and it was too much crammed into a short book. So, excuse me, this was done a little bit better. Ling Ling Huang, if you've read Natural Beauty and you've read Immaculate Conception, she definitely has an interest in bioethics and transhumanism. So again, we're exploring those kinds of themes. Yeah, but I thought it was pretty well done, and I ended up voting for it for the Goodreads horror choice. I am not going to be able to get The Buffalo Hunter by Stephen Graham, because it's just that branch is too far away, and I have to leave soon. I'm going into the city to meet up with another friend. I feel like my social life is feast or famine. I might take video vlogging of our time together in the city. We're gonna hit up a Christmas market and eat in Chinatown, but I don't know. So we'll see. But the next book I'm gonna read or start reading maybe tonight after I get back for this vlog is Strega, which is a horror type of read. I wanted to read for October, but whatever, it's still Scorpio season, so I'm gonna start reading that. That is very, very short as well. It's a Swedish translation. Yeah, and I will see you in the next couple clips.
It's a really cute mug.
So I'm probably about halfway through Strega. I'm more than halfway. This is a very quick read. It's under 200 pages, and a lot of the chapters end on half a page. I initially didn't really care for this. I didn't like the writing style. It is very flowery, and there's a lot of window dressing of descriptions, but there's not really much interiority of any of the characters, including the main character, whose name is Rafa, I think. I don't even quite remember her exact name. It definitely is there's a lot of like feminist themes, analysis about young girlhood and the violence being on like the cusp of girlhood to womanhood. It reminds me of the Virgin Suicides if we were from the perspective of the sisters instead of the boys, which I didn't really care for that book. And the perspective, or the POV, that's the term I'm looking for, is very between I, the main character, and we, like the girls all become one. So I was like, I don't know about this. But then it starts to get interesting about halfway when they set up, there's like this big event at the hotel they have to prepare for, this vacant hotel where no one comes, and there's this ballet performance one of the girls does, and then she goes missing. And prior to that, the main character is cleaning a vacant room, and she discovers this paper from the year she was born that is about a family that was murdered. So that's when it starts to get more interesting, because I was just like, okay, there's no interiority of the characters. There's no like real plot here. It just feels very poetic, but I need a little more for a book. So now I'm enjoying it more. There are some good lines I like. It says, okay, so they go to see a play, and then they go and wait in the foyer during intermission, and she says, the foyer looked like the waiting room of some government institution where evil was upheld and distributed in a steady daily rhythm. There's another line here that reminds me of an Anne Sexton poem. I don't remember a paragraph. I don't remember what it was called. It was about like beauty maintenance. I felt ugly and like a failure. Tried to understand how I was supposed to endure this long life, where one was to arrange oneself into a woman each morning, where one was to wash with a coarse sponge dipped in boiling water, where one was to rinse one's hair in apple cider and let it sparkle in the sun, where one was to bathe one's face in brackish water, where one was to keep cold cream on the nightstand, where one was to have baby hands with painted nails. I looked at my hands like the hands of a murdered woman. So, yeah, if you don't really like the writing style, because I would suggest to keep reading, but this is very short. I feel like I'm going to finish this today. I need to, like, not completely finish this before bedtime, because I always need something to read, and I don't have anything to read. I won't have anything else to read if I finish this before bedtime, so I think I'm going to end the reading vlog here. I am in my pajamas with no makeup on. And have to do some cleaning. If you like this video, please comment, like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.